Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to talk about the tips and tricks you should keep in mind if you want to get a better score in your Ielts exam. So Ielts is an exam you have to give if you want to migrate to a different country, or if you are talking about Canada, if you want to become a permanent resident of Canada, or if you want to come here as an international student, you need to give an Ielts exam. Also, in certain regulated professions, the Canadian government or the regulating body requires you to give an Ielts exam. So I personally have given the Ielts exam 3 times. I have given the Ielts academic once and Ielts general 2 times, and I have scored 8 bands each time. So I'm going to talk about the things that I use, or the tips that I use to improve my score, and how it can help you too. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. So the first tip is to understand the format. It doesn't matter how fluent you are in English, if you don't understand the format of each question that is going to be asked in each module of the exam, you will struggle to get a good score. So I would like to give you the advice to understand the format of different topics covered in the exam and prepare accordingly. The second tip is to understand your current level and the level you want to be at and prepare accordingly. So let's say your average score is 6 bands right now, and you want to be at 8 bands, so you have to prepare accordingly. For that, you need to understand your current level and how much you need to improve to reach the level you want to be at. So if you want to aim for a 9 band or an 8 band score, you have to prepare accordingly. You have to reduce the errors you are making, you have to improve your fluency of the language, you have to understand and improve the vocabulary to get more bands in the exam. So in this case, you have to think as if you are an examiner, and if you are assessing yourself, how much score would you give yourself, and if you want to improve the score, what would you do? So think about that topic and prepare accordingly. The next step is to focus on the topics you are weak at. So a lot of people that I communicate with, they tell me that, okay, I keep on giving Ielts listening exam and I'm stuck at 33 out of 40 because all the listening and reading scores are out of 40. So they say that, okay, I'm stuck at 33 or I'm stuck at 32. But the mistake that they are doing is they are continuously giving the same paper or similar kinds of paper over and over again, but they are not focusing on the points that they are losing marks on. So let's say you are struggling at true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given, then you should only focus on those topics. And if you are giving a sample paper, just focus on those topics. Don't give the entire paper one more time because you are wasting a lot of time. You don't need to practice the topics that you are really good at. You need to practice those topics in which you struggle actually. So focus on your weaknesses and try to improve your score in those areas, which will help you to increase your overall score. The next step is to create an environment similar to that of an exam. This is a very important thing you should keep in mind, because what people normally do when they are practicing is they take breaks, they get distracted, they keep their cell phone in the same room, they don't finish the paper completely when they are preparing for the exam, and when they give the exam they struggle because they didn't create the similar environment when they are preparing for the exam. So when you're preparing for the exam, if you create a similar environment, it will help you a lot, because it will just be one another test for you and it will help you to increase your overall. The next step is to manage your time well, especially in speaking and writing. Let's first talk about the speaking module. What happens in the speaking task, especially in the task in which they ask you to speak on a topic for around 2 minutes, you have 3 points that can help you to talk more about the topic. But what people normally do is they run out of things they can talk about in that module. So you need to manage your time well. You need to speak a bit slowly and confidently, and you need to explain the scenario or the topic that you are talking about for as long as the examiner wants you to. Otherwise it will affect your score. Now let's move on to the writing task. In writing, doesn't matter if it's an Ielts general or academic, you have 2 tasks. Task 1 is a comparatively smaller task, around 150 words, and task 2 is for 250 words. So what happens is, if you don't manage your time well in the writing task, you allot a lot of time to your task 1, and because of the shortage of time in task 2, you write the topic as fast as possible, and that increases your chances of creating errors or not using the perfect language for the task, and it affects your score. So you should manage your time well, and what you can do to solve this issue is practice your task as much as possible, so it will help you to improve your overall score in the exam. The next step is to be confident. This step will help you a lot in your speaking task. Sometimes a person might be really fluent in English, but they are not confident, and it reflects in the body language when they are attending the speaking module. So it affects your score. If the examiner notices that you are not confident enough when you are talking, they might think that you have crammed the entire thing, and it will affect your score. If you don't know a particular answer in a speaking module, you should still be confident and say as much as you know about the topic. It will help you in that task. So confidence is always going to help you in IELTS speaking module. The last tip that I can give you is to create a schedule. It is very important to work on your English regularly to improve your overall score. People normally struggle in particular modules, so I would recommend that you try to practice those modules as frequently as possible, and creating a schedule and sticking to it will help you a lot in increasing your IELTS score. So remember guys, IELTS is not actually an English test. According to me, it is a test of a particular set of questions that are going to be asked in the exam, and if you prepare using certain strategies, doesn't matter if your English is not good, you can still get a really good score in the IELTS exam. Always remember, IELTS is a test of vocabulary, fluency, and confidence. So if you keep these three things in mind, you can really improve your score. So these are the tips I had in mind about the IELTS, and I'm going to make separate videos for each module. Till then, stay tuned, take care, bye bye.